This morning, Governor Akpabio charges people to have a daily relationship with God. Civil servants in the state to rejoin National Housing Fund Scheme. AKBC TV Chapel NUJ holds last Congress for 2014. Distributes Go TV decoders to members. We have details shortly. A very good morning to you and thank you for joining us this morning on our news at dawn. My name is Augusta Essien. The reverends, priests, laicks, top government functionaries and the business class converged on Ukana in a Sianudim local government area for the inauguration, consecration and dedication of St. Lucy's Catholic Church, Ukana. The church, which is the fifth station of the Catholic parish headquartered in Akpantong in Sienudem, along with the station house and adjoining lands, were donated by Governor Akpabio and family to the Catholic community. Idima Saranye tells us more.
Act of the ceremony with the handover of the plan of the building, keys and equipment in the St. Lucy's Catholic Church to the chief celebrant and bishop of Ikorekweneda Catholic Church, Most Reverend Camillus Omo. In his remarks, Governor recalled his encounter with the Blessed Mary even as a Protestant, a salvation is possible, and urged all to strive in their daily lives to have a relationship with God. Governor is pleased that God can accept a gift from him. The church will be a source of light as well as an educational center in Okana and environments. He is led by Lucy Obodo Akpabio, whom he said lived a life of devotion, forthrightness, and shared privileged.
And the greatest joy you can have is the joy of being able to connect with God. Note that I feel privileged that God can accept a gift from my hand. And also note that you should be privileged that God has enabled you to be a witness to this uncommon transformation of my community, my children, my life, my family, my clan, my land, my tribe, my state, and the entire Nigeria.
In his homily, the Most Reverend Camillus Omo described the donation of the church building as wise thinking, the wise decision. Bishop Omo, who spoke with him, salvation has come to the land, said the Catholic Church does not forget towards it and call silent for the of the soul of Madam Lucy Akpabio. Bishop Omo dedicating the physical strength effort if the Catholic Federation do not also rededicate themselves to God and the church.
By dedicating this church to God, we are automatically dedicating ourselves, that we are ready to listen to his word, that we are ready to follow the gospel values, that we are ready to do what he wants us to do by being for him a living sacrifice acceptable to him.
The St. Lucy Catholic Church described the dedication ceremony as a dream come true, as hope that the church will help in strengthening the Catholic faith in Ukana, Ikoton. Delivered by the Deputy Governor, Noble Lady and some groups. The ceremony featured national hymns and unveiling of the shrine of St. Lucy in the church. St. Lucy, Santa Lucia, was an Italian who was martyred for her Christian faith.
Approved an uplift pay 6 months mandatory contribution on behalf of all civil servants to enable workers rejoin the National Housing Fund Scheme. The head of civil service, Mrs. Cecilia Odoisian, stated this while addressing desk officers in charge of National Housing Fund Scheme in various ministries, departments and agencies in the state. Correspondent has details.
Naira loan facility approved for the civil servants housing estate in the state is presently domiciled with the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, awaiting completion of documentation by the state release of the fund. She said assiduously with relevant to ensure that submit to enhance the release of the funds. That they should regularly update the passbook of every contributor, adding that when records pertaining to the scheme are properly kept, it will boost the confidence of contributors in the scheme.
I decided to invite you so that we can rub minds and interact freely with a view to evolving ways of ensuring that our workers take full benefit of the relaunched National Housing Fund scheme. You know that the scheme was relaunched. We had entered it before, but we opted out, and government allowed us to enter the scheme again. That's why we call it relaunched National Housing Fund scheme. As you may have been aware, the government approved the payment of mandatory for all civil servants to ensure entry into the scheme.
That in actualizing the housing, Mr. Umar Housing Fund had to meet the yearnings and aspirations of every contributor, adding that the leadership of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria remains totally committed to ensuring that the housing deficit in the country is reduced drastically through the construction of the workers' housing estate in various states of the Federation.
Upload into our database. So that is the situation as at now. And I believe that by the time we talk to ourselves, we'll now be able to get everything straight so that we are working simple. And the passbook, like we know, doesn't belong to you.
The state chairperson of the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria, Comrade Akamba Awa, and the state vice chairman of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Comrade Etemagwana, who represents the state chairperson, Comrade Unyimusoro, said labor leaders were seriously interested in the process made by the scheme. That they would give government the needed support to ensure the realization of the housing project for workers of the states.
AKBC TV Chapel of the Nigeria Union of Journalists has held its last Congress for the year 2014. The Congress was attended by members of the chapel, including the Director, News and Current Affairs, Comfort Tumana, heads of units in the news department, beat reporters, and other members of the chapel. Ibaba Setuk has details of the story.
It was an atmosphere of conviviality as members who had been toiling for the past 12 months had a chance to relax and cast their minds over the activities of the chapel. The usual newsroom activities came to a standstill as members exchanged banters and pleasantries. The leadership of the chapel, led by Colonel Efreti, to dole out Christmas packages including seafood, poultry, edibles, and goat satellite decoders. Addressing of the chapel, Colonel Efreti thanked members for their cooperation for the past 1 year, saying it enabled his executive to perform effectively. He said the decoders distributed is courtesy the state government, adding it shall enable members keep abreast of international events.
From the State Council of the Nigerian Union, through the State Council of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, we have this for members of the channel. It's supposed to keep us connected to the web, to be able to know what's happening, not just in the state, but how we are also publicized outside the state. And most often, journalists do have problems. They cover events, but they don't know of other events happening, most often in newsrooms. It happens that some are news blind. But with this, we are not expected to be news blind. We're supposed to know exactly what is happening outside our own environment.
Also speaking, the Director of News Directorate, Comfort Umana, thanked the state government for the package to members of NUJ in the state and urged members to use the facility effectively.
I also want to thank the leadership of the chapel in television, which I'm a member. I want to thank all the members for cooperating with the leadership. I don't want any member of this chapel to enjoy the TV, watch it late in the night, and forget to package your story that you need to package in the night. But let it be a source of inspiration for us to watch other stations, see how we can improve more than those stations that we watch.
KBC TV NUJ just recommended the leadership of the chapel for putting in place the end of the year thank you gathering, saying the chapel has sustained the tempo of.
Thank the chairman of the chapel, Colonel Mefeti, for being a people-oriented chairman, and I know that without having that kind of spirit, we would not have succeeded this way. And I want to believe that other chapels will emulate what the television chapel chairman and executive are doing. And I also want to hope that our own members will continue in that spirit, because this bonding I see in AKBC television is not seen in any other chapel. And I think if we can transmit this into other chapels in this state, the Nigeria Union of Journalists would be a greater body than what we are seeing.
Other members of the chapel spoke well of the event.
This particular administration has been remarkable. It has left footprints in the sands of time.
I've been here since 1991, and I've had chapel administration come and go. I've never had it this good.
And I believe I'm speaking the minds of my colleagues when I say that Christmas this year is indeed merrier than most other Christmases that we've spent.
Ima Baseto reporting.
The news continues after this timeout. Please do stay on with us.
We celebrate your successes, all the medals that you wear. We celebrate your selflessness, all the great names that you bear. We celebrate your hard work. We celebrate your courage. We celebrate good governance. God bless the governor. We celebrate good governance. God bless the governor.
Welcome back. It's few hours away from Christmas. Christmas is a time where people exchange gifts, make merriment, visit places, and celebrate with family members and loved ones. A lot of people go extra mile to prepare for Christmas celebration, to the extent of buying plenty foodstuff, clothing, beverages, drinks, chicken, goats, and even cows. Based on this, AI and Paul went to town to ask how people are preparing for the Christmas.
of love, a time Christians believe that God sent his son Jesus to redeem mankind. To this end, Christmas is a period where people go shopping for themselves, their friends, and loved ones. In Uyo, traders in Urakpanandem regretted that at this time of the year, which is always busy, their businesses boom, but they are experiencing low patronage.
The turnover is not as last year. Scanty people. We don't have enough customers.
May postpone Christmas.
Despite the fact that some are complaining for low sales, some appreciate God that the season has been very fruitful.
My sister,
At the Rice City IBB Avenue, the ambience portrayed Christmas season as customers are loading their vehicles with bags of rice. The manager, Mr. Tokwe Omogola, said patronage at the shop is high as demand for rice has increased from 15th of December. People, he said, buy up to 100 bags of rice depending on their need.
Patronage this period is high because even this period many people are buying rice for their family. Even some offices, they came here buy rice for their staff.
At the Nasarawa Goats Village at Itam, though goat was seen in large quantity, the chairman of the market, Al-Hajim Umaru Usman, decried low patronage and attributed it to increase in price.
This is what I see now. If they tell you money for one good, you're surprised. 35, 30, 40,000. 20, 18, 17, 15. And you look at now how the market, look at now. First, these are no buyers, look at the market. Everybody gonna complain no more.
How are others preparing for this year's Christmas?
like for me on Christmas Day, I'll go to church. After that, I'm back home. Maybe we have 3 guests, but I really don't have any big plans, like they're going to the moon to come back, no.
As a person, we are already, my sitting room is already filled with some cards already. And then in the church also we are preparing with carols and all of that. I also had gotten cap to use. You know, this.
I will gather my family. The way I will celebrate Christmas with my wife, with my children, I will take them out. You know, anywhere they want to go, I will take them out within the city. And I want to thank God for the governor. At least he has beautified the state so that you don't have a mind of going to another state, the sister state or wherever, except you want to go.
So to me, I really see Christmas as relaxation. Me, I really used to sleep on.
Wow, how time flies. It's another Christmas already. How are you preparing for your Christmas? Have you started shopping yet? If you haven't, what is keeping you? From Uyo Metropolis, Eyageno Paul reporting.
The state deputy governor, Lady Valerie Ebe, was among the thousands of sympathizers that thronged Ife town in Kwainin local government area to witness final rites of passage of an ace broadcaster with AKBC radio, late Ikemiset Smith. The report of the funeral service is presented in our studios.
Others included the management and staff of the AKBC, led by the Director General, Pastor Praise Okun, commissioners and permanent secretaries, some members of the state and national assemblies, serving and former political office holders, local government chairmen, and ranking church leaders. In his homily, Pastor Greatman Victor of the Living Faith Church, Mbiabongitui, advised Christians to live lives that impact on people, love God, and enjoy themselves while on earth. Pastor Victor described the late Ikemiset Smith as a role model who touched the lives of many positively and prayed God to grant his soul eternal repose.
So if we are preaching faith, we have to behave like faith people. The Bible says we, that believers don't die, they sleep. So if we have this hope, we rejoice that our brother is over in heaven. So all of you folding your hand and like that, I don't want to see that again. So we are going to rejoice in God's presence once again.
The eldest son of the deceased, Mr. Ndifreki Kemeset Smith, described his father as a sociable and good mixer who was committed and passionate about serving God, the church, and humanity.
The late Ikemeze Smith was not a politician, but his open and vocal support for His Excellency Chief Godswill Akpabio while he was yet an aspirant.
Messages were delivered by some groups and individuals, including the management and staff of the AKBC, Ratau, and the Association of Professional Broadcasters, VONA.
The management and staff of Akwa Ibom Broadcasting Corporation received with shock the news of the death of their beloved husband, father, brother, and one of our staff, Mr. Ikemeze Smith. I. Smith, as he was fondly called, joined the Cross River Radio, Calabar, as presentation officer trainee on 19th October 1982. In August 1988, he transferred to Akwa Ibom Broadcasting Corporation after the creation of Akwa Ibom State. While in the service, he rose through the ranks to the post of presentation officer 3, being the post he held until his painful exit.
The as broadcaster passed on in October, leaving behind a wife, Margaret, 4 children, Ndifreke, Esther, Prosper, and Wisdom, and Deaconess Monday Smith, among others.
Including staff of AKBC, converged on Biakpai Koredam in Ibionibum local government area to pay their last respect to Mrs. Ellis Mandi Akpan. Aged 62, Lady Ellis Akpan was a mother-in-law of the head camera AKBC TV, Mr. Tony Aniekbun. The funeral service was conducted by the Church of Christ at the deceased compound Biakpani Koredam. In a sermon, Mr. Nkeruem Amanku of the Church of Christ, Ikoriku, advised parents to be mindful of the seed they sow while alive, knowing that whatever a man plants could affect his future generation, either negatively or positively. He urged Christians to acknowledge God in their dealings, stressing that even though they pass through the valley of death, they could have nothing to fear.
So for everybody, the thing they got. Mato in the big good somewhere. Correba say believe kesu progression. Not just to progress, but some person I give them, and I'm ya here. Mato, all you so this guys in solo.
The biography of late Ellis Akpan indicated that she was a devoted member of the Church of Christ who served God with passion and commitment. Presented by her son Ikomobong Monday, Ikaidiong, as she was fondly called by her admirers, was a businesswoman who specialized in various tradings, including soap production.
And sister, let Mrs. Rose to travel to the Middle Belt, present-day Benue State, to bring Gary, which she sold in bags. On relocating to the village in 1997, she was into soap production. All this she did diligently until her demise.
He expressed appreciation to groups and individuals who worked with the family to accord their departed mother a befitting burial. Survived by husband, children, and grandchildren, the body of late Mrs. Ellis Akpan was laid to rest at her husband's compound, Biakpani Koredam. You can also watch AKBC TV News online by logging on to akbconline.org or follow us on Twitter at AKBC45U or on Facebook at AKBC Channel 45. And that's a package this morning, but just before we go, another look at the top stories. Governor Godswill Akpabio has charged to the people of the state to have a daily relationship with God. He gave the charge at the inauguration and dedication of St. Lucy's Catholic Church, Okana, a government area. And we also brought you a report that TV Chapel of the NUJ has distributed TV decoders to its members. That's our package. Do remember to join us at 12 for the news at noon. Until then, have a wonderful day ahead.